What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for yet another rant, the final rant of 2017. And if you have rant suggestions for 2018 that I've yet to do, so be sure and check the playlist. First, you can send your rants to me via the comment section, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all my social stuff linked below in the description section. And it can be about Grand Theft Auto, gaming in general, YouTube, etc. But today, once again, we're ranting about Grand Theft Auto Online because it seems like there's always something new and wonderful to rant about in this game. Last week, Rockstar released the Benefactor Streiter, along with the Snow. And a lot of people out there that like SUVs were kind of excited because it's been a while since we had a new SUV. The last one was the Benefactor XLS and XLS Armored, which came out with FAF, Finance and Felony, June 2016. So you look at the image of the Benefactor Streiter, and most people made the assumption, correctly, that this was a new SUV. Well, no, it's not. Once again, another prime example why Rockstar needs to reclass several vehicles in the game. And by several, I mean a lot. We went over this already in a discussed video a few weeks ago regarding Grand Theft Auto Online vehicle classification. FYI, in case you didn't check out that video, feel free to do so. Sometimes I feel like my rant videos become discussed videos and my discussed videos become rant videos and vice versa. Sometimes it can get a little confusing for me, yeah. But anyways, back on the Streiter, the new SUV, sports car. And I know what some of you are going to say. Well, not all of you, but one of you. You know who you are. But GeauxBurns, SUV stands for Sports Utility Vehicle. Yes, I know. But there's an SUV category in the game, and then there's a sports category, which is for sports cars. So this thing does not look anything like a sports car. And it's like maybe one of the worst examples of vehicle misclassification. Now, you would assume that the Streiter listed for $500,000 at Southern San Andreas instead of Legendary for some reason. That's small potatoes, but it feels more apropos to be over at Legendary than Southern San Andreas Super Autos. But back on topic, when it comes to the fact that it's in the sports category, even though it's clearly an SUV, one would assume that the Streiter could compete in the sports category. If you thought that, you were wrong. Now, I don't claim to be Bruffy. He's the best when it comes to, telling you which vehicles are the best for lap time or the worst and how they're ranked. But myself and a few other friends, members of the stream team, we decided to get on a track with sports cars, several attempts with, the top of the line sports cars and some average sports cars. We pitted them against the Streiter, non-contact, and every single time, the Streiter didn't even come close to placing. Always in last place. It didn't matter if it was the Pariah, which obviously another example of misclassification because that should be a supercar. But some of the other sports cars in the game were doing way better around a track than the Streiter was. And I really wish that we had the ability to actually race the Streiter against SUVs in a race or a cunning stunt race, but unfortunately Rockstar does not allow us to do that at this time. So the best that we can do is race down a runway, like at Sandy Shores Airfield, and it did pretty well against some of the SUVs we found off the street. I think we even raced it against an XLS, as well as a Landstalker, I think a Baller, maybe a few other SUVs. It did okay. So once again, it would make more sense for it to be in the SUV category as opposed to the sports category, especially since this category, SUVs, doesn't have that many vehicles in it. It has less than 30 and 6 versions of the Baller. You have the old school Baller, you have the normal Baller, you have the Baller LE, limited edition Armored, limited edition long wheelbase, limited edition Baller long wheelbase Armored. 6 Ballers make up this category, this class of SUVs that have less than 30 in them, including, once again, the freaking contender. which is obviously not an SUV. I'm starting to feel like a broken record here. So yeah, this category has less than 30 SUVs in it, including a truck. And the newest SUV was added over a year ago, June 2016, with finance and felony. The Benefactor XLS and the XLS Armored. And the price tag, in case you're wondering for the XLS, is roughly in the same ballpark as the Streiter is. The Streiter, $500,000. The XLS ranges, like this version, is $253,000. The Armored version, which is the better of the two performance-wise, $522,000. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense, logically, for the Streiter to be like right here in the SUV category where it belongs, but alas, it's not. And some of you are probably saying, well, GeauxBurns, I mean, the sports category, could probably use another vehicle. I'm like, have you counted how many cars are in the sports category? Do you know how many vehicles right now? Some of them obviously don't belong in the sports category, just like we mentioned a moment ago. But as of right now, there are over 50 sports cars in this class, including, like I said, some that don't really belong in the sports category, like the Streiter. That does not look like a sports car to me. Neither does the V12. That's a sedan. That, I don't know what the hell that is. But anyways, not only does the Streiter not look like or resemble a sports car, it is outmatched by sports cars in races. It's probably not even going to be in the top 10 when it comes to sports cars. And if it's in the top 10, it's never going to compete with the Pariah or some of the other sports cars. It's a joke, Rockstar, an absolute joke. And the truth is, the SUV category could definitely use more vehicles to be added to its class, including the Streiter. And there's several awesome looking SUVs out there in the real world that should eventually be added to the game. Like, for example, the Jaguar F-Pace, the Audi Q7, the BMW X1, the Lexus RX, the Volvo XC90, and the Lamborghini Urus. All of these are SUVs that should eventually be in the game. They'll be great additions to the SUV category, along with the Benefactor Streiter. But once again, another prime example of Rockstar misclassifying a vehicle for whatever rhyme or reason. Either because, the community, buys more sports cars than SUVs, or they buy more supercars than any other vehicle. It's kind of hard to gauge that, Rockstar, when you keep putting vehicles that don't belong in the sports category in the sports category. Wouldn't it make more sense to beef up the SUV category and to add more variety to it than to just take a vehicle that obviously looks like an SUV and put it into a class that it clearly does not belong in?